This is how legends are made.
We are here with Rip Fritzer, the one and only. Rip, say hi to our audience.
Audience, I say hello to you. I hope you're all having a great day because I am.
So we wanted to bring you on here because we know you are number one team on Coldwell Banker West, which is absolutely amazing, as well as the fact that, like, I've known you for a long time and you've always motivated me and you always have, like, the right things to say. We wanted to bring you on here to kind of discuss a little bit more about, you know, how we can get motivated, because we're both very goal-orientated women and, you know, we just want to see what's inside that mind of yours.
I'll throw out some stuff here and see if it makes sense. You got to remember, I've been doing this a long time, and when I started, you know, people liked picking up the phone. They liked answering the door. So obviously times have changed. Mm-hmm. And so in today's market, I think, you know, I will say this up front. I've never, ever once in my career written a goal or had goals. Never.
Seriously?
Never.
So you wing everything you do?
I don't wing. No, it's not winged. To me, they're the most, and you said it a second ago, what you got to find is motivation. I will attach motivation to a goal. For example, say you have a family and, you know, you got grandma living with you in your 3-bedroom house and it's just packed. You got 2 kids. Your motivation then, it rises. I need to change this environment. I need to get an ADU. An ADU is going to cost me 120 grand, 150 grand. Now I got a motivation attached to a goal. So when you can attach motivation to a goal, you're getting up with a little fire in your belly. You got to find true motivation. You know, you might have a kid that has a handicap. I don't want my kid to have a tough life. I want to make sure there's money there for my kid for the rest of my life. You know, motivation's easy to find. You just got to find it.
Like, kind of like your why, like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The reason why
you do things, you know, it's like people are, you know, there's athletes in the world, you know, and they get, you know, before that first kickoff, that guy was getting ready to return that kick. His adrenaline is buzzing. He's motivated as a son of it. He's going after it. You got it, and it's hard to transfer that to real life, but you could do it. Mm-hmm. And once you do it, you're going to be tough to beat. So when you're on your way to a listing appointment, you got to find that inner motivation and why you're going to that appointment. So that there's, you know, it's more than just, oh, I'm just going to go through the motions. If you just go through the motions, your results are just going through the motions.
And that translates into any aspect of life or any career, having the motivation.
The motivation is key. Whenever you're in a business that is commission oriented, what happens is sometimes, and you see it out there, I see people that have larceny in their bones. You can tell all they care about is the commission. You know, car salesmen, you know, they get a bad rap. There's some good car salesmen out there, but you can tell when they're just caring about the commission. Mm-hmm. In our business, sellers and buyers can sense that. And so, you know, you really got to be careful about that, and you got to be doing it for the love of the business. You got to love this business in order to be successful in it. And once again, you got to find things you love about the business, do that. The things you don't love about the business, hire someone. And I love that. That will work. So, you know, the thing that I find is about the, you know, the commission thing. I'll give you an example. There's a guy, and I'm not going to say who it is, but he's in La Mesa. He's an attorney, and he does taxes for a lot of my high-end clients. This is amazing what he does. He walks in, tells, you know, his story, whatever. Every year they get together. His fee, he has no upfront fee. He asks his client, what do you want to pay me? Really? Imagine going into a listing and explaining, you know, to the seller, look, traditionally agents are getting 2 to 3% per side. And that's kind of the industry standard. And I know that commission's on your mind, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller. It always is. And, yeah. You know, obviously, regardless of the quality of work you're getting, you're always thinking about a commission as a seller. And imagine going into a, you know, because I tell you not to think about commission, not to have larceny in your bones. Imagine doing a listing and telling your seller, you pay me at the end and you pay me what you think I deserve.
Wow. Have you actually said that?
Before I die, I'm doing it. I haven't done it yet. but you know what?
Hey, Rip, you can do it when you...
But think about that. Now, if it blows up in your face, it's not going to be because you did a bad job. Because you're going to do the best job you've ever done on a listing.
It would be karma back on that person if they cheat you out of any of your commission.
And that's why you kind of go over the industry standard, so you put that in their brain.
Yeah,
that 2 to 3% thing. And then if you do a great job, I mean,
has he had people pay him more than the going rate?
Well, what my buddy tells me is he's a machine. You go in there and he's done in about 75 minutes. And my one buddy tells me he pays them $2,200, $1,200 for corporate, $1,000 for personal. It's across the board. Mm-hmm. But obviously the guy's done some research on it. He's done trial and error, and it works for him. And he's amazing.
That's amazing.
He kills. He makes over $1 million a year. No problem.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, well, you just gave her other ideas. So now when she sells,
I just think that think about all the agents you just right off the bat beat in a presentation.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is awesome. I can't believe you haven't done it yet.
I kind of thought about it on the way over here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm always trying to learn. I've been doing this, but I just think in a way it kind of. Yes, there's risk involved. Your broker is not going to dig seeing 0 on the listing.
Right.
Peter, I hope you're not listening to this.
But you know what? They got to be in on it. They got to be part of it. And it's something you just it'd be fun to try.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm definitely going to try it.
And that it's an interview process, right? So when you meet your potential client, you're interviewing them, they're interviewing you. Right. You can get a good sense. I mean, you don't have to accept them, right?
You know what? You made a good point there. So there's people out there you could do
I've done it.
You do the very best job in the world, and they still blame you.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying you anything. Yeah, that's a risk. You got to pick the right kind of person. You got a person of quality. You find out what they do for a living. You find out if they're people person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an itinerary of things you got to know about them, and then you can plug it in.
For sure.
But what a fun conversation to have with a seller where you look in right in the eye and say, "Look, you pay me what you think I'm worth."
Oh my gosh, imagine if it's even more, you're like, damn.
When I'm done, you pay me what I'm worth.
It proves your confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, you're proving you're confident in your abilities.
Right. And give them before you say that, you're giving them a very good presentation. Yeah. You're talking about all the marketing. You're talking about your achievements. You're talking about how you bring more to the, per square foot to your clients than most agents do. You create value. You put yourself up there as a very competent realtor. Then you say that. You don't say it up front. Yeah. Saying it up front means nothing.
Yeah.
I have a question on that because obviously Chantel and I are friends. You and I are friends, but probably more acquaintances. So of course, my instinct is I want to give the commission to my friend. So I want her to sell my house.
Right.
But if I'm selling my house and I come across like frustrations or challenges, I don't want to necessarily impact our friendship because maybe I don't feel that I'll be able to like. So I would actually want to know Chantel's response to that. How do you respond to that? Because I did sell a house before with a friend, and we're not enemies, but we're not really friends anymore because I didn't feel like he really worked for me, and he and I got into it and we're fine, but like I would never want to like tarnish our friendship.
Which I totally understand.
So that. And I feel like it can get a little bit like dirty, right? When you're selling a house for someone.
It can definitely. I can see how it can get messy. And I think because I've done a lot of deals now for very close, like family and friends, I've learned I believe that everything should just be brought up front. I don't think there should be anything, like if you feel a certain way, I think you need to be straight up and just be like, this is how I feel. Mm-hmm. Because I'm a kind of person that doesn't like fluff anyway. I just want straight up. It's like if I'm doing something wrong, I need you to tell me straight away. Okay. This is how I feel. Because to me, business is business, friendship is friendship. So you've got to like separate the two.
So you would tell me, I have thick skin, Sean, like whatever you're feeling, any frustrations, just say it.
You have to, because would you tell that to Rip if you felt a certain way? You'd be like, I would. That's what you need to do to a friend as well. Yeah. And for me, like, for example, with my cousin, when I sold his house, tensions got high. It was like a very sensitive moment as well in his life. And honestly, there was some pretty tough conversations we had, but it's like there's business and then there's family. Yeah. You got to separate it. Yeah. And in my head, I don't treat you less than because you're a friend.
No. I mean, you're never going to have to worry about Chantel. I think she does the same job
regardless of
Yeah.
the relationship. She's great, and she fights hard for her clients. I saw it firsthand.
Yeah.
Right, needs to.
I believe in her fully as a realtor.
But that's a really good.
Yeah,
I like that
she is-
question.
She's
But-
amazing.
But
All right, let's wrap this up. So, Rip, one final question. So, what advice would you have for me as a potential seller? I'm thinking about potentially selling in the near future. As we're heading into 2026, what advice?
What advice? You mean as far as getting your home prep, stuff like that?
All that pricing.
Well,
mean-
I'd say this. I'd say you sit down before you make that final decision to sell, why you're selling, and what your plan is going forward after that. And, go out 5 years and make sure it's the right decision to do right now. Would I say this market's a good time to sell? Yeah. I mean, rates are starting to go down.
I love it. I
All
love
right.
it. And also, if you're looking for a great realtor, you can have 2 for the price of 1. Just thought I'd throw it out there because, we wouldn't be doing our job if we weren't trying to sell just a little
that
bit.
is true.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Rip. Appreciate you coming on here.
Thank you, Rip.